Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Dana Scranton, and welcome to 8 Minute Wisdom. This is a continuation in our series on the review of my notes from a seminar put on by Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. So today, in notes number 7, we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic. Ultimately, it's about leadership, but it's also about state of mind, as, of course, any success game is a mind game. And so it's not unusual to understand that your state of mind is your state of success. But having said that, here's a quote that Tony said during the seminar. We are all equal as souls. We are, however, not equal in the marketplace. And I appended, this is the role of leadership. We're going to talk about leadership today. But let's just kind of delve into that Zen-like statement that Tony made. We are all equal as souls. We are, however, not equal in the marketplace. Why is that? Well, let's leave the idea of the soul on the ethereal plane where we are all equal. Let's come back to the reality of here in the now and today. As an entrepreneur, you are in the marketplace. The marketplace is whatever you define to be that dot. Okay, remember from a prior episode, the dot is your target market, the avatar, the focus area for your entrepreneurial endeavors. You are not equal in the marketplace relative to others who are doing the same thing. And it comes down to leadership. Self-leadership, in other words, leading you, as well as leadership of your market. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to be wildly innovative and unique and different and competent and, engaging. It means that you have to focus on bringing value to that dot, to that avatar, to that target market in a way that is enthusiastic, genuine, and effective. And some of that comes down to self-leadership. In fact, a lot of it comes down to self-leadership. Your ability to empathize with, understand, and identify those needs of your target market and bring a solution to them with the passion and enthusiasm that engages them and invokes their belief in what you have to offer and their belief in you. So I'm going to switch over here and just go to a few charts that they shared. So bear with me here. We'll get up. All right. Okay. The internet is a little slow today. So hold on. Here we go. Okay. So we'll share this one. All right. Here we go. So what we have are a couple of simple slides that really define what it is that leadership is in the simplest sense. Okay. The three mandates of leadership that Tony shared are see it as it is, not worse than it is. There's a tendency to look for the negative, to look for what can go wrong as opposed to what can go right. See it for what it really is. Develop the habit of visualizing, seeing, analyzing, and understanding the reality of what it is, not worse than it is. Number two, see it better than it is. What does that mean? It means extrapolate beyond the current situation as to what can be. One of the quotations I heard many, many years ago is the definition of leadership. Leadership is having a vision of what can be and the courage to make it so. And this is kind of where we land on this particular item. Number two, see it better than it is, and you'll start to see the ways to make it happen. Make it the way you see it. What does that mean? That means visualize the outcome. Visualize how you believe it can be and what you personally can do to make that a reality. So that's the essence of that slide. What about a breakthrough? When do you know you've had a breakthrough in your entrepreneurial journey? Well, first of all, it's a moment in time when everything changes. When you're surrounded by a crisis, a personal crisis, or an overabundance of energy and a lack of focus, but all of a sudden You recognize there's a path through the storm, and that is the point where things change, and that's where the impossible becomes possible. And if we go back to this slide, see it better than it is, make it the way you see it. There's a relationship between that concept and idea and the point at which things change. Remember those Chinese characters that people refer to as, you know, chaos and disorder is opportunity. Well, what those two characters really mean is the point at which things change. Chaos, disorder, stress, overwhelm. There comes a point when enough is enough. And that's the point at which things change. And all of a sudden, the impossible starts to become, and indeed becomes, possible. So what triggers a breakthrough? Okay, this is important. A conversation, an insight, a new experience, a challenge, an emotion, a strategy. What does all that really boil down to? It boils down to stepping out of the box, taking a step onto the frontier, moving forward regardless. The smallest step can achieve the greatest breakthrough. Never doubt the possibility before you. Take the shot. Engage in a conversation with somebody. You know, when you start talking to somebody about your passions, your purpose, your vision, all of a sudden you not only affirm and validate, but you create. If you get an insight, all of a sudden something pops into your mind, stop right there, write it down, record it on your phone, commit it to memory, commit it to feeling in your body, because that insight is a message that says, hey, take a look at this. A new experience. Create experiences. Life is about experiences. You create experiences for your target market. Life is an experience. It is a journey of experiences. Experiences allow us to see things differently, and indeed then to translate that to new possibilities. A challenge. Don't be afraid to take on that which you are afraid of. Take the challenge. Take the challenge to grow, to move beyond where you are. An emotion. We've talked about that. Emotion is critical. Emotion, feeling is what engages the body and the mind to work in collaboration to get you what you want in life. It's power, it's momentum. Strategy? Well, a strategy is, what am I going to do? How am I going to do it? By when? And who else do I need in my life to make that happen? Well, strategy is one of those business words, but what it really is taking your feelings, your emotions, your desires, and mapping them into a journey that you can see yourself taking. Along the way, you see the milestones, you feel the milestones, and you achieve it. Now, that is leadership. All of that leads to the state story strategy that we reviewed way back at the beginning of this episode. I think it was episode number 2. So these are the things that I wanted to bring to your attention because they are so very, very critical in understanding what it is that that is so compelling and powerful in some of the things that Tony and Dean teach. So let's come back to this message on the screen here. We are all equal as souls. We are, however, not equal in the marketplace. The role of leadership is to engage your mind and your body in seeing things as they are, seeing things better than they are and what they can be, and understanding that you have the ability to make a difference in the lives of others. Your state of mind is your state of leadership. You know, leadership is a lot of things. Leadership is, as I shared earlier, it is the ability to see what is possible, having a vision of what is possible, and the courage to make it so. Well, that was perhaps one of the roots of the definition of entrepreneurship that I use. An entrepreneur is somebody who identifies and understands the needs of others, and then with courage, conviction, and resourcefulness, connects them with a means of fulfilling that need. Because when you do that, you accomplish several things all at the same time. First of all, you help another individual to elevate their life beyond where they are. Because when you help them fulfill a given need, that elevates them to a higher state and more needs, but those needs lead them on a journey to where they want to go, and you were part of that. That's leadership. And when you do that, that's confidence, that's courage. That gives you the insight to see that you do, in fact, have something to offer the world, and that amplifies your success and your momentum. So, this is a very important concept to recognize that leadership is important. But here's the deal: you don't have to be like someone else, you don't have to be better than someone else. That's almost the message this is trying to send you. But don't believe that message. The message is this: be the very best person you can possibly be at fulfilling the needs of the people in your dot. That dot being the target market, the avatar, the collection of people who can benefit from what you have to offer. That's your focus of leadership. That's your focus on becoming the best in that particular segment. You don't have to be better than other people. You have to provide better value. Does that make sense? And sometimes that better value comes down to how you pitch it, how you say it, the feeling behind it. Have you ever bought something that you just know intuitively is not as good as something else, but the sales pitch was compelling, that you had confidence in what that particular marketing information had to say about the product? You know, you look over here and it costs a little more and it looks like it might be better, but this message compelled you to believe more in this product, believe as opposed to guess, hope that the other product might be better. That's being better. It's not necessarily that you are better than the next guy, next person. No, you're better at delivering the promise of value, at delivering something that really works, affirming it with the customer, developing a relationship. These are the things that go on in the entrepreneurial world. Okay. Well, that's today's message, today's episode, and I hope you got some value out of it. And we'll, as usual, we'll see you out there on that beautiful plane, that frontier of possibilities that we all have access to. It's a wonderful journey. And we'll see you in the next episode.